All right. Hey, how you doing? This is Eric from AMP Live and the AMP Live Real Estate Show, coming to you live here in beautiful Southern California. It's about a little after 5 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. I guess that's what it's officially called. I think I used to call it Daylight PST, Pacific Standard Time. But then internet marketing guy, this guy who's really good at what he does, goes, no, it's actually Pacific Daylight Time. I looked it up and it's true. So whatever, right? Say tomato, maybe not really. But anyways, I'm coming to you live here today. It's Thursday for Thursday Deal Day and the AMP Live Real Estate Show. I'll be your host. I am Eric from AMP Live and VIPeXecs Realty Lending and Investments. Step into excellence and luxury properties. Those are the sponsors. Powered by AMP Live Media, a media broadcasting and marketing company. So hope you're doing well. All right, so this is streaming live right now on YouTube and several other platforms, I believe, like Instagram, Twitch, LinkedIn, all that good stuff. Facebook, or just call it, it is what it is on that. So we're just kind of dealing with the situation there and kind of moving to different platforms, testing stuff out. If you see this live, it will be obviously posted and replayed and then chopped up, monetized, and all that good stuff. But for today, we're going to do deals. We're going to talk about deals. We're going to talk about creative real estate investing, and how powerful that is and how you should make it part of your arsenal when you're dealing with real estate. I don't care if you're an agent, a broker, a lender, or a wholesaler, or a fix and flipper, buy and holder. Doesn't matter, whatever niche you're in, even multifamily commercial property, you should have creative real estate investing in your arsenal. At the same token, this is going to be a little bit about, yes, the 30 days to a deal challenge. That's one of the challenges. It's March Madness for us. March Madness in regards to deals. So we're hitting it hard for the rest of this month and into April as well for the next 30 days, okay? So a lot of leads coming down the wire for Southern California, all 4 counties, San Bernardino County, Riverside County, as well as Orange County and Los Angeles County. Those are the counties we're working in, and we're also working in the Texas Triangle. Of course, we work throughout the United States of America. If it's a good deal and it's a good area, we'll do our homework, look at the demographics and all that good stuff to make sure that it is either going to be a good fix and flip, buy and hold. And we're going into different areas like that. A lot of people, yes, they do the virtual stuff. They're national and they're spending more money to do that. If you're just getting started, I suggest you, jump into your own backyard and look for deals. Don't have any excuses. Don't make those excuses. Oh, there's no deals in my area. It's too hard. There's not enough deals. This is a creative investing deal, or there's more of a buy and hold type situation. Look, you're going to find deals anywhere you go if you look hard enough and you put your verticals together and put a niche together in regards to what you're special at, what your superpower is, right? What is it? Is it sales? Is it hunting deals? Is it paperwork? Is it the back office? Is it marketing? What part of that is? Is it where is your strongest skill set? But at the end of the day, we're going to talk a little bit about systems as well, because think franchise, right? Franchises don't fail. People fail, okay? People fail, not franchises. It's like a machine. When the machine is rocking and rolling, yes, you need humans to repair the machine until they have the robots and AI do it all, right? But even if you're broken down on the road, right, there's things got to happen. You got to use a human being to get to those points. You have to pay the price as well. We're going to talk about systems and processes as well in regards to creative real estate investing and just a real estate investment firm. That's what we're here for. Because so think of it as like 30 days to a deal challenge is getting started, right? Even if you're not getting started, maybe you need a refresher course on creative real estate investing. Maybe you need a refresher course on just real estate investing in general. And maybe you're an agent or a broker. And you're going, you know what? Hey, yeah, you played in the private sector, public sector. Now you want to play in the private sector and bring that to your clients and have better service to everybody you work with, including your own, agents and comrades and all that good stuff. He has a little hair there. Anyways, so we're going to talk today. So we do have this. I'm going to share this up here. So I'm obviously your host of the AMP Live Real Estate Show, and brought to you by obviously AMP Live Media, a media marketing broadcasting company, dropping our AMP Live TV as well. So this is always live, uncut. So definitely like, love, comment, appreciate it. I'm going to check on some because we got some stuff that's getting built out. We're going to talk about some PSAs today, public service announcements, as some promos that we got going for March. And have no shame at the end of the day saying, look, hey, this is what we do, right? We buy, sell, fix, flip properties. We're in the real estate investment business. We're in the creative real estate investment business. We're in the traditional side where we have the VIPeXecs Realty Lending and Investments, where there's listings and there's buyers and there's agents and there's brokers and there's lending, all on the traditional side. But we also bring the private sector, marry those together for the ultimate awesome badass rock and rollness of I should say, boutique real estate investment company, or real estate company, I should say, has all these elements built over the years. And these things are things that you should have in a real estate company. As far as I'm concerned, right? And I won't get into the history of other brokerages or franchises, but you got to think systems, you got to think processes. Those things help and they work. Even if you're just on a small scale, right? Just start thinking about that. And that's what I want to help you out with, because we do have the American Mentee Program. It's AMP Live, the American Mentee Program, the only program of its kind where we train you and others across the United States of America, true one-on-one mentoring. Nobody does that unless you can spend $50,000 to $100,000 or more. Guarantee it's not going to cost you that at all. That's one of the things, was the cause and mission when we started the American Mentee Program several years ago, is that, look, it needed to be reciprocal. Needs to be reciprocal, where you're going to get fired up and do what you need to do. We're going to get fired up and work with you. We're going to invest in you. You're going to invest in us. You're going to invest in yourself. And the outcome is rocking and rolling deals, partnering up and doing deals, building a relationship for the long term, right? Like networking throughout, doesn't matter where you're at, throughout the United States of America. We've mentored. I want to say thank you to all past, present, and future mentees of America as well. And anybody who decides, hey, you know what? I want to get my license. I want to rock my license. That's happening a lot. And if that's you, that's cool. We can plug you into VIPeXecs Realty and Lending, or maybe you already have a license and you're like, you know, this is what I need. I spent $5,000 on this, $2,000 on this, $500 on that, and it's still spinning your wheels. Well, come aboard VIPeXecs Realty, Lending, and Investments in Luxury Properties. You won't have to worry about that unless you want to obviously take it to another level. But coming in, you're going to get the best of both worlds, lay the foundation. We'll share those things with you. If you want to take it to another level, then hey, if an opening arises for the one-on-one mentoring, then we'll invite you into that. But you will get, first choice and first reservation to be able to come in and do that with us. Also, 30 days to a deal challenge, yes, is one of the challenges. We're bringing it back. We've done it several years ago. We're doing challenges before they're ever even popular, but we're bringing back 30 days to a deal challenge because I think people need that, right? They need some motivation. They need a kick in the butt. They need to be fired up. They need their hand held for a little something to see some results and go, man, okay, this is what I've been looking for forever, which is a segue, right, into our one-on-one mentoring program. If you like the 30 days to a deal challenge, then you're definitely going to love the one-on-one mentoring program, and you'll tap into it. At the same token, it is a selection process, so not everybody gets to come aboard. Even if you have tons of money and you want to write a check, there's been times we just say, no, it's not going to work because the person is just not coachable. They're not at that level or at that point, or maybe you think they're too big or too small, or just have an attitude. And you got to have an open mind. You got to have a positive mental attitude, and you got to understand the golden rule. And if you can do those things, then it'll be easy peasy, and you're going to see results. I guarantee you. I promise you that. It happens every time. Okay, it's the ones that don't. Or if you question 20, well, what about this? What about that? What about this? I don't care. We have the patience. We'll wait for you. If you want to wait 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 months again to get a deal, you definitely get one. I guarantee you. And we'll be rocking deals, but it's got to have that faith, right? And you just got to jump in. And if you execute, you'll see the results. And then we'll move forward, and we keep moving forward through every little benchmark. And before you know it, you don't even know that it's happening. You're going, oh, shit, man, okay, I've learned so much. And it's only been, 2, 3, 4 weeks. Sometimes it's a month or two. Just depends on the speed of the mentee. And they'll be, oh, my God, okay, well, why didn't others of these other programs tell me what I'm learning now? Or why is it harder? Why was it harder trying to figure things out? But yet I'm working with you guys and you, Eric, and boom, it just clicks. Well, because we've been doing this for a while. We base it on muscle memory, right? And we base it on the AMP Live method of what we've been doing, what I've been doing for several years. And we just pass it on to you. As I always say, it's kind of like Bruce Lee and Ip Man, or, they got their senseis and they got their trainers and they got their mentors. And these are people that they have faith in, that they believe in. Okay. Now it's going to be that leap of faith that you're going to have to take in the beginning, but it's usually going to be, hey, we'll knock that out probably the first week. Okay. I guarantee it. And you'll have no fear. You'll be fearless. You'll understand. You'll have that faith, and you'll see, because I'm going to bring that stuff, and we're going to bring that stuff to the table. When you go, okay, do this, and that, and you do it, and you see the results. It's when you don't do it, and you go, well, what about that? I changed this up a little bit, changed that up, and then it doesn't work. And then we'll go back and go, okay, we'll figure out, well, what did you do? Did you not send this way? Did you rewrite it? Are you thinking of something different? Are you trying to reinvent the wheel? Because we're going to know, I'm going to know, I can spot that like in a second. And I won't say anything, but I'll wait for usually the mentee to tell me. And then we go, okay, cool. Yeah, I did change this. And then I was afraid to put that little line in there and this and that. I didn't want to offend nobody, or figured I'd get hammered, or I wasn't quite sure. And they change it back and leave it the way it is. And then they execute again. And voila, like magic, it works, right? So it's not rocket science, I will tell you that, right? I'm not a Harvard college degree person in any sense, but if I can do it, you can do it. I guarantee it. If you set your mind to it, anybody can achieve what they truly want to achieve if they're willing to put in the time, study, read, assimilate, and yes, just go for it, right? So there is a difference. I know that, but thoughts are things. So when you're thinking about stuff, you got to stay positive, right? You have to stay positive. I say PMA, positive mental attitude, eliminate the NMA, negative mental attitude, out of your life, out of your mind, and things will flow easier. They'll flow off your chest and off your shoulders. You're not going to get as stressed on things of that nature. And you need that to be able to focus on what? I want you to focus on real estate, and absorbing. Now, I guarantee you're going to be, man, this is going to be like a brain dump of stuff. No, we're not going to hit you with a bunch of stuff. We're not going to hit you a bunch of PDs and PDFs and videos and groups and all kinds of crap, right? Bottom line is we move at a pace that works for you, okay? We move as fast or as slow as we need to, or you need to. And then as we do, yes, when I'm training you, there's going to be two ways. You're going to watch some videos, there'll be some PDFs. You'll be actually, we're going to train live, and then it's going to be downloaded into your mind, into your subconscious mind, until that trigger happens and you get your aha moment. And then eventually it moves to your conscious mind and turns into a habit, right? We want the right habits. If you have bad habits and wrong habits, you're breaking down deals incorrectly, or maybe telling sellers a certain thing because it feels more comfortable to you and it's not working, then we're going to reprogram that and program you to the point where you can actually get it done and it executes. You see the results. So the little reprogramming. If you're doing things right on point, cool. We'll massage it and go from there. But I will tell you, only about 1 to 3% of true real estate investors in the United States of America understand creative real estate investing. And I am one of them. And there's others out there. I want to share that with you and become one of the 1 to 3%. Okay. Now, 97%, and yes, there's even maybe even 95%, that don't know how to do this stuff. There's older dogs that just go with cash. They don't deal with any creative real estate investing anymore, and that's cool, right? They're at that point and they can handle that and they want to do that. Others just like the art of the deal. They like working when putting creative deals together, the exit strategies, the solutions, right? The more problems you have on the table with the seller, with your expertise, once you get to that point, the more money you're going to make. Okay, because you're providing solutions that others cannot. Wholesalers can't provide a solution, right? Fix and flipper, contractor, buy and hold. There's certain people that just get in a niche and they get it. But if you don't have those extra exit strategies, then you won't be able to service or help that particular client. Okay. Well, I'm going to share that with you. We'll hammer throughout several months. But when we first get started, and there's no guarantees at the end of the day, right? It's up to you. It's all action based. You might get traction the first week, second week, third week, fourth week. Heck, it might take you 1, 2, 3, 4 months. It took me 4 months before I got my first deal, wholesale deal, to be able to actually lock up and sell off to an investor. So, hey, maybe, at the end of the day, don't feel bad. Yeah, but you might get your first deal in the first 2 weeks. It might be 3 weeks. It might be a month. There's no guarantees at the end of the day. The main thing, and you shouldn't be thinking about that. You should be thinking about, what can I learn? How can I learn this correctly? And then move on, build a business, because you're going to want to build a business with acquisitions, dispo, lead coordinator, build the actual business. Even if it's going to be your family members or maybe a couple of friends, or maybe it's going to be you, and you're going to hire some VAs, or maybe you're going to hire some AI, right, assistants to help you with all that stuff, because that's becoming a trend, right? Where you're eliminating people and you're using AI agents to do that. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm studying, looking, haven't tapped into anything. Some of the AIs, sounds okay. Some of it doesn't. It's just finding the right company and all that good stuff, and then executing. There's a place and time for it. All right, so let me go ahead and do this real quick. Do a little housekeeping. Let me double check on something real quick. Pull this up. All right, got to put on the spectacles. Got my coffee and my water all up in here. All righty. Let this load. All right, 527. Okay, here we go. He's here. checking on. Speaking of, people that work with us, was making sure that I'm actually working here. So bear with me. Live and uncut. Remember, it's always live and uncut. Like, love, share, comment. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. And this is, it helps us out. Hopefully it helps you out. Along with the Amplified Real Estate Show. So usually on Thursdays, I'm fired up. It's a deals day. So we're talking about deals. I've been looking at some properties today as far as, just leads that are coming in. Pre-foreclosures, obviously we're working those. Probates, there's expired listings, vacant properties, all here in Southern California. And yes, stuff comes in. So thank you for sending your deals down the wire so we can underwrite them, look at them, get you an offer, or work with you in some capacity if that's what you're needing, or maybe point you in the right direction. Or hey, but keep on sending those properties. Appreciate it. So we definitely do appreciate that at the end of the day. So it doesn't matter where it's at, just as long as the deal looks good, the demographics are good, the days on the market when they get sold and bought and all that good stuff are important. You need to know that stuff, right? And hopefully we'll ask you on some of these sub-2 deals as well. It's a little bit tight, but I'm not looking for the ones that are right on the marker or they're 500,000 ARV, and that's what it is. We're looking for some equity, okay? We like to buy subject to existing financing properties with equity. That's right. Even if it's going to be a fix and flip, probably going, well, why the hell would you want to do a fix and flip and go sub-2? Well, I won't get into that today, but I will on Saturday. Okay, just kind of, okay, but, fun, okay. All right, so we got some cool stuff, and Swede's obviously working on that stuff. Let me get back to this here, and we'll get back to it. All right, so the Amplified Real Estate with your host, Erick Paul. I'm going to pull up this awesome graphic that was Swede built out. So most investors ignore this, the hidden gold mine of pre-foreclosure leads, okay? So yes, I won't go too deep into that, but there are people, and I've heard it before, oh my God, yeah, I don't do pre-foreclosures because everybody's doing them. No, not everybody's doing them, right? And then it depends on the market, right? There's cycles and trends. When things are rocking in one direction, then it gets saturated, right? As they call it, blue oceans and red oceans, right? So with that said, our pre-foreclosures, yeah, they're everywhere. Does somebody want to work on them? Yes, no. Oh, no, agents are the ones that do all that stuff. Or I'm a real estate agent and I'm not trained because I'm not certified to do that. Or my broker won't let me do that. Well, I'm here to tell you with VIPeXecs Realty Lending Investments and Luxury Properties, yes, you can. We thrive and we want to share and help our fellow Americans who are in those distressed situations, right? To either buy their property, help them fix their property, get them a loan, private loan, hard money loan, traditional loan, or get them out of that situation so they can move on, sell that property so they can go buy another property, or whatever it may be. We're very, very creative in what we do, and I'm going to share that with you if you come aboard or work with us in any capacity. But it's super, super important, right, when we're working with those people, because it's all about empathy. It's all about a win-win, true win-win situation. A lot of people talk about that. Oh, it's got to, yeah, we always do win-win situations, and maybe not. But for us, seller is the win number one. Whole investor taps in if we have an investor to do that deal is number two. And number three, for the third win is us. We're last on the totem pole. We get paid last. At the end of the day, seller has to be taken care of, investor has to be taken care of, and then us last. Okay, that's just how it rolls. Now, I will say something real quick. 1 second. As I'm doing this, it's live, so I'm going to multitask here, right? But it's part of the Amplified Real Estate Show. But there is a gold mine of pre-foreclosures. Okay, these pre-foreclosures, when I'm going to get into this, is the pre-foreclosures are before they go to actual foreclosure, right? And it depends on where you're at. Southern California, Florida, Texas, a little bit different. I'm going to tell you what it's like in Southern California. You get an NOD, what's called a notice of default, when you don't make a certain amount of mortgage payments for a certain amount of month. After that, what's going to happen is you're going to go ahead and there'll be a little time frame, right, where you got about, I believe it's 90 days. When 90 days comes up, the bank has an option to say we're going to record what's called a notice of trustee, NOT, notice of trustee sale. And when they do that, there's going to be another $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 from attorney fees, plus 3 months of non-payments, if that's what's happening. Even if they're trying to work out a loan mod, guess what? The payments don't stop, right? Oh, I'm working with my bank. Doesn't matter, right? You're still going to owe the bank 3 months worth of payments. And if you don't pay them, then they're going to foreclose. And then what happens with the notice of trustee sale means it's 45 days before it goes to auction. That means it's going to go to the courthouse steps. It's going to go to the auction. And if there's equity, an investor is going to make an offer to buy it cash, and they're going to own it. Now, if it's too tight or for whatever reason it slips through the cracks and nobody gets it, and maybe we're not able to help them, or the seller's too what do you call it? What's the word I'm looking for? Just not flexible and saying, no, I'm not going to sell this house. Nobody's going to get it. I'll let it go back to the bank type of an attitude. Then, hey, that sucks for them and their family. Then it will go back to the bank. And that's considered an REO, real estate owned. And now the banks don't want those properties. They're going to take it back, though. They'll take it back. They'll put it on the roster as a non-performing note. That's not good for them, because then their interest rates will go higher when they're lending money or borrowing money from the feds to lend it to you or others when they want to buy something, right? Because that's how they make their money. Then they'll get more and more of those. And then they'll stack them all up and sell them to a hedge fund, a small equity company, or if you're able to have access and tap in and buy some onesies and twosies there and have a relationship with the loss mitigation department, then, hey, good for you, right? That's what we did the last cycle. All right. So that's what's called a pre-foreclosure, and turns into a foreclosure actually on the books where they take it back. Now, the goal here for us is go after, and for you, I'm going to share this with you, right? This is a beautiful thing, is going after the low-hanging fruit, call it what you want, because that's what it is, right? Obviously, we're not a nonprofit. We are for a profit company, as well as you're for a profit. You got to make money. And if you have the skills, nothing's for free. So you're not going to share that stuff or work with people for free. Although as you do this business more and more and more, you'll pick your battles. And sometimes, you're not going to get paid very much, but you'll do it anyways out of the goodness of your heart. And you're going to help out that seller, because if you do that, you're putting good into the bank, right? And it doesn't mean you're doing it on purpose. You're just doing it. And hopefully somewhere down the road, if you need it, someone's going to help you, or vice versa. You never know where it's going to come back. You're not expecting them to do anything for you in the future. You're just doing it to help out that person, that family, because they trust you and you want to help them out, and they're willing to listen to you. So you can actually, because if they're not flexible and they're not willing to listen to you, then there's no way. They can't help themselves, right? Let alone you or us helping them out. So that's a very, very important element. But with these pre-foreclosures, yes, it's a little bit different. Some people go, I don't want to mess with that because of the emotions and things of that nature. Or, oh, no, you're taking their home. No, look, there are options here. That's why we have the best of both worlds with what we do. And what I mean by that is, that's right. Hey, if they want to sell their property, we'll make them an offer. If they want to list it, we'll list it. If they need a loan, they're capable to get a loan, they can afford it, then, hey, we'll get them a loan. If for whatever reason, hey, we can't help them, then we will point them in the right direction, point some resources, give them some resources, and say, good luck to you, right? If they're not flexible, then no, we're not going to waste our time trying to convince them to work with us, because they're not flexible. It's not going to work out. They're going to lose the property, or an agent's going to come and try to list it and it's not going to sell because there's not enough time. Or maybe they'll do it. Maybe they won't. Depends on the experience of the agent or broker. And at the same token, there's a lot riding, because banks are foreclosing on properties. It's not like it was several years ago, where you can stay in a property 2, 3, 4, 5 years, not make any payments. No, you don't make those payments. They're coming after you simply because of everything that's going on with credit, and that's a good thing. Banks are still giving out credit cards and doing all that good stuff. So those are always a good indicator of the market's not taking a shit yet. When they start locking down credit cards, start locking down equity credit, start locking down loans and all kinds of other shit, then that shit's going to hit the fan. I have something here I'm going to share with you. It's called the Erick report. I'll pull it up real quick. It says, get the Erick report, life, real estate, family, USA, and the world. Okay. Now that Erick report is just a simple PDF with some dates on it of what I think is the market, what I think is going to happen to the market in the next 5 to 7 years, right? Based on, like I mentioned all the time, going back to the 1800s, 1900s, even when I got started, right, in early 2000s, all the way up until now, and looking at what transpired, right? What things happened. Now, we can't predict what's going to happen with war or what's going to happen with economics or anything around the world. All we can do is know, hey, when things happen, they're going to happen. It just happens. Cycles and trends. It's real estate. That's just the way it rolls. Same thing in the stock market, right? So we go with the blows. We go with the punches. We ride the wave of opportunity. So if you want that report, do a DM. I'm going to go ahead and do this little chat thingy real quick and put it in the chat. You can DM for the report. It's free. Okay. See if I got anything here. Notes. I'll pull out some notes. Real estate domination. Oh, that's true, too. We got a cool. Oh, there's no link there. Okay. I'll pull this up again. I got something for you right here. There it is. So let me see right here. Register here for March Madness. Now I'm going to put this up here because this is specifically just for you. In the chat. Okay. Now this is going to be for the 30 Days Studio Deal Challenge. Make sure you grab that. I do want to share the AMP Live TV. Always raw, real, and standing for truth. Home of the AMP Live Real Estate Show. Obviously, I'm Erick of AMP Live and VIPeXecs. You can see that down here, it's kind of rolling down here, the AMP Live Real Estate Show. You can hashtag Get Erick Paul Live, hashtag Get Erick Paul Live to watch some more videos and training. This is obviously being streamed live on several platforms right now. So definitely like, love, and share. Now, what we're going to talk about is no theory, no fluff, just real estate deals in action. Now, how's that going to happen, right? Because the type of niche you're going after right now, today's training or today's deal day, and what we're going to talk about is, yes, pre-foreclosures, right? And it could be probates. There's a certain way to work probates. There's a certain way to work expires. There's a certain way to work vacant properties. Some of those vacant properties have been inherited. There's divorce properties out there. What I'm speaking about or what I'm talking about are distressed situations, distressed properties, right? And distressed properties, people go, oh man, well, don't those dry up? And is that like a special niche? Yeah, it's a niche, but you got to remember, life happens. Right? We live in a world where it's controlled chaos, the universe, right? Things move, the universe, day, night, light, sun, all that good stuff, right? Nature does its thing while life does its thing. Life is going to happen. People are going to pass away. People are going to get sick. People are going to have job relocation. They're going to get divorced. There's going to be, inherited properties, or people get the property and they don't want it. The baby boomers, obviously that's a big one, right? People have been talking about that for the last 10, 15 years. Oh, the biggest exchange in wealth is going to be the baby boomers, right, to their kids and grandkids. And it's true. They're happening more and more out there. But at the same token, we just adapt with the niches that we're going after. The reason we're going after pre-foreclosures is because we know they're rising and they're amongst us. And we know that it's a niche where most people are lazy and not going to want to work them, or they'll make an excuse not to work them. And so don't, or you're like, hey, I don't even know what to do. I know there's laws and all this good stuff. Disclose. We'll work with you on all that good stuff, especially if you're working with us exclusively. And we'll share those things with you if you're working in the private sector, or even if you're working with VIPeXecs, realty, lending, and investments in luxury properties. It's gonna be, more importantly, to disclose if you're an agent and a broker, for sure, right? And you just got to follow the rules, follow the guidelines, and you're fine, okay? So, and you're providing an awesome service to your fellow American, fellow person that's working with you in your local area. So, it's a powerful, powerful thing, right? You got to remember, when you do that and you put a house back onto the market, it's back onto the books of good for what? The city and the county and the state. That's good. It helps the schools, helps the fire departments, helps the police department, right? Taxes are back on the books, so they're collecting taxes. It's also, if you got a house, usually sometimes a house getting a little disarray. But when it's fixed up and put it back on the market and resold, now you got a beautiful house on the block. It's no longer the ugliest house on the block. It's a beautiful house. It brings up the equity of the neighbors' houses, and then they're happy with that as well. So you're providing a needed service, and you're also employing people when they got to fix it. They got to go in and repair it. They got to do some painting. Your agent's getting paid, escrow's getting paid, and the house is back onto the books, generating income for the city and the state, right? As well as a beautiful, lovely, family living in the property and enjoying the American dream, if that's what it is for them or whatever. And, so it ties into a lot of things. There's a lot more good than people talk about the bad, right? So don't believe the hype. Don't believe the bullshit. At the end of the day, when I hear people say, oh, well, oh my God, I don't know if I could do that with this and that, I wish I just had the money and I make all their payments for them and catch them up. I said, okay. And then you make their payments for them for the rest of their life. Oh, I couldn't do that if I was like a billionaire, but you're not, right? So what are you going to do, right? Or they'll say, oh, you know what? That's, taking advantage of this and that. I say, okay, then cool. Why don't you write a check? Why don't you write a check, make up their back payments, go ahead and make their payments, whatever it is, and help them out, and whatever it takes. And they're like, well, I can't do that because I got my own family. Well, no shit. So, people open their mouths and they put their mouths and their feet in their mouth and all that good stuff, right? And it's not a very tasty thing, obviously. So it's just how you frame things and how people got to think about this. You're providing something that others cannot. Banks won't do it. Agents, it's very rare that agents and brokers can handle that or do that in that capacity because they're used to just listing properties, and brokers just hire agents and they have their training in franchise or independent brokerage, right? It's very rare. We're one of those rare types of companies, VIPeXecs Realty Lending Investments and Luxury Properties, step into excellence, hey, rock and roll, and AMP Live and AMP Live Media, where we bring those two worlds together from our experience, knowing, right? So we disclose when you're working as an agent and you disclose that, yes, you can help them out and things of that nature. Even if you're in the private sector, right? If you're in the private sector and don't have a license, yeah, you disclose, you let them know what you're doing, what everything's about, and you explain everything to them compared to whatever the competition is. So you can walk out with the solution, with the contract, with the deal, and helping that family move on with their freaking lives. Okay. It's a beautiful, lovely thing. Trust me. And all that good comes back to you by more deals and maybe people or, testimonials and things of that nature. And that's just one little segment of real estate. Pre-foreclosures. Probates are another one. Expired listings, vacant properties, divorce properties, just even nice homes and nice areas. People go, I don't want to always have to buy an ugly house. No, you don't. You can buy nice houses in nice areas. That happens too. Job relocation, right? If you got a job relocation and they just bought the beautiful house and they got married and all that good stuff, you know how many times that changes and they need to get rid of it? And sometimes they can't because of the debt or because of what's transpiring or because the house is not selling. And now they got 2 payments. They're going, this is killing us. Well, who comes in and solves that problem, right? That'd be us. It'd be you. And I'm not going to explain how that would work, but there's a solution for that, right? Where we go in and we're able to take on that property. They can move on with their lives, but they have to be flexible. They have to understand what's being done. And then, hey, move forward so they can move on with their lives. And then we take on that property like it's our own property, right? So we can either fix it, flip it, buy and hold, if it's going to be buy and hold or some strategy. And they understand that. It's all in black and white and it's all in writing and it's fully disclosed to them and everybody else that's involved in the transaction. That's creative real estate investing at its finest. Okay, that's just one scenario. So as we move forward, I'm going to go ahead and share this with you. See what we got here. Might have to put on these spectacles. I'm going to share my mug and Miss Elizabeth's mug here. Okay, obviously this is what we do in the real estate world. I believe there is a QR code. Not sure what that is. It's for the American Mentee Program. Yeah, lock in your spot, one-on-one mentoring, the American Mentee Program. Right there. Scan that QR code. Okay. Only taking on a handful of people for the rest of March and for the rest of this quarter. Once that's done, it's done. And then we're going to roll into the second quarter. Okay. It's AMP Live with Erick, Paul, and my team. Let's rock. Scan the QR code. And share this with you. So here's the brands for VIPeXecs Realty Lending and Investments in Luxury Properties. Okay, now I would suggest right there is another QR code, very easy to do. Free home search, investments, property search, sign up and scan the QR codes. Courtesy of VIPeXecs Realty and Lending. Step into excellence. Doesn't cost you a dime. Get access to the MLS. Doesn't cost you a dime, right? We front the bill, or the bill's fronted by VIPeXecs, and that stuff is not cheap. A lot of people ask for access. Hey, can I get access? Get access. No, it doesn't work that way. You become a real estate agent, you get access. There are some agents that will give access to investors and wholesalers if you ask nicely and you do things a certain way. So, hey, if you can get it done, then, hey, more power to you. But scan that QR code. It's absolutely free right there. Boink, boink, boink. And get access to properties on the MLS, whether they're luxury properties, fix and flips anywhere in Southern California. From, I believe, LA County all the way to San Bernardino County, Riverside, Orange County. That's a lot of, there's literally millions and millions and millions of properties up in there. Okay. I would suggest you jump aboard our VIP buyers list as well. So shoot a DM or a chat, become a VIP buyer with us and get access to those properties before they come out to the general public. Like what we're working on, what I was working on today, right? Those are properties that are in distressed situations, fixer-uppers. Maybe they don't have enough money to fix it up. They don't have the 10, 15, 20, 30,000, sometimes 50 to fix up the property. And the agents tell them, hey, you got to put on the market at this price. If you can fix it up, then I can get you this much, right? They just don't have the money. They don't have the time. or they just don't want to do it, right? A lot of people are for sale by owners too, because maybe they sold a house or two. You're probably going, why do they have for sale by owners? What is that? FSBOs. Well, for simply that reason. They sold 2-3 houses before. It could be a baby boomer. Oh, yeah, I don't need an agent. But 9 times out of 10, they start bitching. They start whining. They start, oh, my God, all these people calling me with lowball offers. I'm getting all these text messages. And so, well, you're the one who wanted to sell the damn property yourself, right? So stop whining and crying and hire yourself an agent, right? Hire us, right? But that's the beautiful thing when we go into a property, right? We may come in through the back door and say, hey, look, this is what we're doing. Yeah, we're going to be one of those guys. We'll get you offer 1, 2, and 3. It's cash. What do you expect? It's going to be the lowest offer, medium offer, then the highest and best offer, cash, right? We got to make money. It's not a charity. We're for a profit. And if that bothers you, then you spend the $50,000 to fix it up. Not us, you. I don't have the $50K or I fix it up. Okay, well, I don't know what to say. Except that we're here to help you and we can get you a cash offer. If that cash offer doesn't work, then we move to what's called a creative deal, right? We run it through the rest of the funnel. So how about some cash now, some cash later? Are you flexible with that? You got a mortgage payment on this thing, right? Yes, I do. Okay. Are you behind on payments? Maybe, maybe not. Even if they're not, it's okay. Then we look at that and we go, okay, we start moving into a creative deal. How can we take over the property subject to or some seller finance of some sort, right? And then we move forward depending on the scope of the house, how much it needs in repairs. And if they're willing to, then we move forward. If maybe it's some cash now, some cash later. Maybe it's, hey, I tell you what, let's just work it out, get you a chunk of cash, and here it is now. And you move on with your life. And then we're going to take on the burden of your property and do everything that's needed to fix it, holding costs, put it back on the market, resell it. And it's all going to be our fees at the end of the day, right? Because we got to pay the agent. We got to pay the broker. We got to pay for the closing costs and all that good stuff, right? And move forward. And sometimes that's the solution for them, right? And other times it's not. Oh, man, no, I really want to keep my house. I really, because of this and because of that or whatever, then maybe it's a loan, right? And maybe, hey, we say, hey, okay, well, we can't help you here, but here's some resources. Boom, hand you over to VIPeXecs Realty and Lending, and then boom, see if you can get a loan of some sort. See if they can help you out with hard money or a traditional loan or whatever it may be, depending on the situation. Doesn't always have to be a pre-foreclosure. It could be a property that you tried listing and it didn't sell for whatever reason, right? And you're like, man, you know what? I think I'm just going to stay here. Change my mind. I'll get some money out, fix up the property, and do some things that I've always wanted to do for the last 20, 30 years. No problem. Let's do a refi. Or maybe it's, hey, I need to get out of this crazy loan and get a new loan, another refi, or whatever it may be, right? Maybe it's a second. Maybe it's just, maybe they change their mind and say, you know what? Wow, you know what? Because that happens too. I decided I don't want to get a loan. I think I just want to sell and be done with this. I'm going to scale down. This house is too damn big. All right, no problem. But even then, there's ways if we need to, or can we help them? Say, hey, I tell you what, you want to get top dollar, but you don't want to do a real estate investment deal, one of our cash offers, and you don't want to do one of the terms offers. So maybe it's, hey, I tell you what, you need about 30, 40 grand, fix that property up to get full market value so we can get you the most out of that property, or VIPeXecs Realty and Lending can get you the most, Miss Elizabeth can get you the most out of that property. Then maybe we could talk. Maybe we will. Maybe we'll bring in the 30, 40,000 bucks to help them fix it up so they can get top dollar, right? But it's part of what? Part of the deal. Part of them going, yeah, we'll do this. And, it's fully recorded and all that good stuff, maybe in the form of a second. And they go ahead and list the property. And then it gets sold at top dollar, right? And so there's ways that we can get creative and help out that seller one way or another. But obviously, everybody's got to get paid. We got to get paid. Investors got to get paid. VIPeXecs Realty and Lending's got to get paid. The Lending's got all that stuff, right? It just is what it is. But it's super flexible instead of just going, hey, do we list the property? Or maybe, do I find you a buyer? Or do I just wholesale it, right? Wholesaling, it may not work. A terms deal may not work. A seller finance deal might not work. A subject to deal might not work. Listing it, sure, they may not get their maximum dollars, but can we help them? That's the beauty of creative real estate investing. That's the beauty of AMP Live, the American Mentee Program, as well as VIPeXecs Realty, Lending and Investments in Luxury Properties, where we get the best of both worlds, right? Combine them together for that super awesome, superpower, whatever you want to call it. It's just understanding and knowing how to work with these sellers, right? And look, not everybody's going to see eye to eye. Not every seller is going to go, I don't know. And then sometimes it's a day late, dollar short, and they come back later. Wow, I wish I should have did that. They either lose the property or they get burned or something happens. They get a crazy loan or they don't get the full dollar amount. And we can't force them, right? to work with us. All we can do is drop options on the table and try to work with them and try to help them. But they have to be super flexible, right? Flexible and understanding. If they're not flexible and understanding, it's going to be impossible to help them out. Okay, so what we do is very, very fair, and we don't have to kill it. Maybe, and that's going to be for you too. At the end of the day, everybody has their margins. Every company has their margins. For us, if we're pushing volume, when you're pushing volume, you don't need to be, hey, I need to make $150,000 on this deal. I need to make 25 to 30% return investment. That's a fucking unicorn, right? You're not going to do very many of those. So, and that's just being greedy at the end of the day. Move some volume, help out a fellow American, close the deal, move forward, and then move to the next one, the next one, the next one. Ask for some referrals. If anybody you can help, maybe they need another property. Maybe they have family that needs property. Stay in touch with them, not just a wham, bam, thank you, man, when you're done. This is about the long-term network, right? You want to build that relationship with those sellers over a period of time. Have them, as long as they know you're in business, they know who to call, right? Doesn't mean they're always going to call you, right? It just is what it is. I mean, you can have a property for sale, and it happens all the time, right? How come? Oh man, I got a real estate license. How come they didn't use me? Right? I hear that all the time. Family does sometimes don't want to use each other, right? For stuff like that, maybe privacy issues or whatever it is. Doesn't matter, So, but long story short, is scan that QR code, right? And let's rock and roll. Just wanted to introduce you to VIPeXecs Realty and Lending. Let me see what I got here. Just bear with me. The eyeballs don't work like they used to. Now, here's for something special. If you're watching this, okay, I don't know how many minutes I'm going to probably not wipe this up. 41 minutes. Okay, well, we're going to wrap this up. Next 2, 3, 4 minutes. 45 minutes is cool. All right, because I got to get to some other stuff. There's leads coming down the wire. I got to get Swede. We got some projects going down the wire, gearing up for the weekend. Tomorrow's Friday for Friday highlights as well. Pulse of Real Estate, so I like to be out and about and going live out there, as well as Saturday. I know we want to get this door knocking thing rolling. There's some touches, little things we're doing with the packets and all that good stuff. I want you to obviously sign up if you're in Southern California or anywhere in the United States of America. You want to be a fly on the wall and you want to learn and watch and rock some voyeurism. Cool. Then sign up. It's absolutely free. There's a website. It is what it is, So it's enough there to fill out some information, get some information, so you can rock and roll with this. Okay. So the point here is millennials. Look, if you're a millennial, I don't care if you're young or whatever. Can you afford a property? Yes, you can. You just don't know. As long as you got a job, you have a job, and it's been over 2 years. Make some decent income of some sort. You can get into an FHA loan. You can get into a USDA loan. If you're a saver and you're one of those saver kids or youngsters and you got saving money and you got maybe some family to help you out and they can gift you some cash as well, guess what? You can buy a property, right? Maybe it's a condo. Maybe it's a house. Shit, maybe it's a duplex or a triplex or a quad. That would be the best route to go. Get yourself one of those, right? Buy that sucker FHA. You live in it with a couple of roommates, and then rent out the other 3 units. Cash flow that son of a bitch. Never sell it. Right? In 10, 15, 20 years, you're going to have a pretty good chunk of cash. And you may even want to, buy a few more of those, right? And you could retire early. Now, that's just my pro tip for you millennials. Think outside the box, right? I get it. Everybody wants to be a real estate mogul. They want to be an internet marketing mogul. They want to be the next, I was going to say Steve Jobs. That's too old. He's dead. God rest his soul. Maybe you want to be the next Bezos guy, right? Or maybe it's Elon Musk, right? Or who knows? That .com stuff, it is what it is. I was watching some .com thing. It was called, what the hell is that called? Oh, Tech Bros, Tech Bro Murders. There's some crazy shit up there in Silicon Valley, whatever you want to call it. But anyways, that's where Google and all them some bitches are out. Who would have thought back in the day all that stuff would just blow the shit up and then control the whole world? All right, so that's going to be the next thing with AI, right? AI is going to control the whole world. Anyways, enough of that. But think about that, right? Common sense. Here's my tip for you young millennials. You want to get into business, you want to rock and roll. Yeah, sometimes you got to start at the bottom, build that foundation, get solid, build your skill sets, whatever those may be, okay? A lot of people come into companies and go, man, what? I got to start at the bottom. I got to clean the floors. I got to sweep. No, I want to be the CEO. I want to be the COO. I want to be the CFO, right? I want to be the chief sales manager. Well, if you got the skill sets, cool. Then you get hired for that. When you went to college and all this other good stuff, maybe you had some skills, maybe you built a little business of some sort and you're making a lateral move, right? But you all got to start somewhere. Everybody's got to start somewhere. I had to start somewhere. Even when I took a job a long time ago, I'll tell you this little crazy story. I took a job a long time ago, and just a little history on me. I was playing rock and roll, cut off the hair, and then I said, man, I think I got to get a job. So I got a job, and I did the, what do you call it? I didn't know any better, right? I had to start at the bottom. So I'm an older dude, starting at the bottom, doing this stuff, and rocking my big old biker boots, blah 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 blah, everywhere you go, and the job wasn't fitting, right, for the ego, because I had an ego, and I was like, oh man, this job, I'm too good for this job. What is this shit about? Well, this is where you got to start. But I did do my research. I'm that type of guy. So if I start here, well, how long will I be here before I can get here, before I can go here, and then before I can get to here? At the same token, who in this place makes the most money? And that was the manager. He said, well, not me. It's these other guys over here in this department doing this over here. So I said, okay, that's where I want to go. I don't want your job. I want this guy's job. Not per se, but I want to go get something like that. And once I got that and framed that in my mind, I went in, did the best job with the shittiest job, meaning the shittiest position that sucked and I hated. But I went and did it the best possible way I could to be better than everybody else with that shitty job, and then move to the next shitty job, and then move to a higher shitty job, and then move to a higher, better job and a better paying job, something with more clout. But it was all in the same area, same thing, right? It's like moving up the little corporate ladder, so to speak, or whatever you want to call it. And then going from there, right? And then trying to go after that goal to do what you need to do. It's the same thing. It builds character, right? It obviously brings the skill sets to the table so you can become the expert, become the best at what you're doing. You're building relationships, right? And all that other good stuff. And it comes with an awesome sense of gratification. So go out there and do that stuff. If you're looking to buy a property, definitely reach out to us, VIPeXecs Realty Lending and Investments, and we'll definitely be able to help you out. I'm going to pull up this speaker card right here. It says a little bit who I am, who is Americans Help Americans. That's obviously one of our main brands. It's an investment property. It's also, it is for profit where we buy, sell, fix, and flip properties. I'm creative real estate investor, mentor, founder of these companies as well. I've been in this game a little over, a couple of decades, says 16 years here, but a few more years than that. You can obviously check this out. You're watching it on YouTube. Definitely like, love, and share. I appreciate it. If you would like to see me on maybe another podcast or our podcast, because this is a thing for 26 and 27, definitely it's on the table. We're hunting the podcast to be on and all that good stuff. And, obviously you got to get that all prepared with a speaker card and a few other things. So that's on the table. Or if you would like me to speak on, you see this somewhere, or maybe you want to share it with somebody and you want me to, jump on a podcast or whatever it may be, definitely would appreciate that. Like, love, and share. But that's a little bit of information on myself and who I am, what I'm about. I'm going to go ahead and click this one here. So I challenge you to take the challenge today. That's the simple challenge, right? The 30 days to do a challenge. And even then, sometimes people, when they sign up, they go, man, I'm going to take that 30 days to do a challenge. Then they have a chit chat. We talk. We go, you know what? I don't need that. What I need is this one-on-one mentoring that you're telling me about. I need to jump on that. So book that QR code or scan that QR code, book some time and get yourself a breakout call with myself. It's right there. You can scan that QR code, book some time with myself and my team. If it's a good fit, we'll put you into whatever we think is going to be best for you, right? We're not going to put you into something just because we want to maximize the dollar amount of closing you up on a high ticket sale of some sort. No, it's going to be based on, if you're not prepared for that, then we want you to just get started, period, right? Whatever it may be. So it's not about the old dineros at the end of the day. It's more about you. Make sure it's a good fit and vice versa. Because the last thing I want you to do is get started in something and then have regrets. The last thing we want to do is get started and somebody has regrets, or it's just not the right person or the right mentee or the right student. The last thing we're looking for is people to tell us how to mentor them and how to coach them. Forget all that. Been there, done that a couple of times. Knock on wood, right? That hasn't happened ever again because it's very stringent, and we've been doing this for such a long time that we pretty much are able to peg the right people that want to kick some ass and rock and roll. And I guarantee you're always going to get results. You show up to the party, you do what you need to do. I promise you always get results. That's my promise to you. I'm going to put this up here because I want to share this. It's Amp Live TV. Amp Live TV once again. That we're going to be rocking. That's going to be rocking in the field. So, hey, if you want to even volunteer, I don't care. You want to volunteer just to come out and learn what real estate's all about, or you're seasoned, you want to come out, or you're looking for some deals, you want a JV, whatever it may be, I definitely will employ you to say, hey, let's go. Let's rock and roll. All right, I challenge you to say, let's rock and roll together, okay? I do want to put this up real quick because I believe this is going to be, where's it at? I think it's here. Is it over here? I'm going to pull this up. This is a live webinar we're going to do next Wednesday. I'm going to put it in the live chat. You can sign up there. That'll be all about the one-on-one mentoring program and how to dominate. It'll be a live, it'll be like a live environment, a live networking meetup environment where you can ask questions, chat, talk. And if you got deals, bring them to the table. Definitely will work with you on all that good stuff. And then I'm also got this right here. Where's it at? Let me see. Boom. Where's it at? It's the domination live meetup, surfing for deals, AMP Live Media. I'm going to look for the 30 days to a deal challenge for you. Heck, I might just throw this up here too. Here we go. Okay. So I believe that there's 1 day to go, 1 day, 19 hours, 56 minutes. Maybe I'll just share the screen. That might be best. Let's see if I can do that. But let me make sure to wrap up with everything I got here. I wanted to share this with you. And then we'll go ahead and wrap this up. Creative real estate investing strategies that change your future. I truly believe that. It helped me with my career, how to become a creative real estate investor. I'm going to leave you with a couple more things here, right? The American Mentee Program, true one-on-one mentoring. And there's one more, creative real estate investing, one-on-one mentoring for real results. Now that's a different jam, but I just wanted you to see it. And this is something that we got, the Real Estate Domination Investor Meetup. It's going to be next week, okay? I just put the link up right there. It's in the chat. So that is going to be like in a live online environment. If we get enough people, then we'll actually do it live, and we'll either rent a place, or it'll be at a restaurant, or it'll be in the office of some sort. But right now, it's going to be all live, stream live. You'll be able to chit chat. You get a special private link to be able to come in to the meetup and rock a network and rock some deals together, right? And we're going to talk about creative real estate investing. Now, obviously, this is coming out here April 6th. It's going to be, so this is the Real Estate Domination Investor Meetup presented by AMP Live Media and VIPeXecs Realty Lending and Investments. And this will be most likely a live event. So definitely take advantage of that. I believe there'll be a QR code and a few other things that'll be set up there so you can sign up. I don't even think there's a sign up page for that right now. Let's see what we got. Keep rolling here. This is cool. Definitely take advantage of that. So let me see what I got here. Now, as we go out in the field, I'm going to supply you with leads and flyers and all this good stuff. These are being not rebranded, but they're being updated a little bit. So we'll be taking care of that and with you, and you get that absolutely for free. So obviously tomorrow's Friday highlights. Learn the secret to effortlessly find new seller leads every single week. The AMP Live Real Estate Show. So that'll be tomorrow. I'm going to bring the AMP Live Real Estate to tomorrow. Friday highlights, helping fellow Americans throughout the USA is one thing that we're doing. Also, how do you know if you have a good deal? We'll be talking a little bit about that. And we're also going to be talking about how to find deals in today's market. But more importantly, I believe this right here is what's going to help you the most. It's going to be this. All right, get deals done with the American Mentee Program, creative real estate investing, one-on-one mentoring. That means setting it up. It's like a franchise. We're going to help you build your business and set up your business with all of the CRM and the marketing and text, ringless, voice message, things of that nature. You know, obviously, we're not going to set up your LLC, but which will point you in the right direction when you're ready for that, as well as, you know, building that private bank of private investors once you get some clout and you're rocking some deals, and how to get people, how to work those friendship deals to be able to fix and flip and buy properties, or even move into the multifamily arena at the end of the day, as well as done with you. Meaning we're going to work with you exclusively. We're going to help you do deals. Usually the first couple of deals, it's about, we're doing about maybe 90% of the work. You're just hunting and you're learning. You know, after that, we want you to start doing that, right? And locking up those deals and moving and building your business. When you're ready for acquisitions and you get that overflow, then we start plugging in some acquisitions and acquisition people or whatever you're wanting to do, depending, remember, because this is your business, right? We're just going to guide you in the beginning, and then disposition, did I be able to sell them, the marketing department, you know, leads, all that good stuff, how to get your leads, what type of leads are out there, pay-per-click, pay-per-lead, all that good stuff, Facebook marketing. There's a bunch of stuff out there, but we don't put the cart before the horse, okay? You don't need to build all that shit first. because you need to get your branding and all that stuff, of course, right? But putting a lot of those things before you need them is only going to shoot you in the foot. And that's why a lot of people, they spend all that money and then it doesn't work. And then they crash and burn. Or they said it didn't work. It's not that it didn't work, just weren't ready for that yet. Okay. So, well, unless you're ready for it, you're like, man, no, I'm ready to scale. I'm ready to rock. I'm a badass closer. I close, 60, 80, 90% closing ratio. I just need the apparatus to kick some fucking ass and build a giant firm. Okay. Then we'll move as fast as you want to, right? We'll plug in all those things as well. All right, so that's for the one-on-one mentoring program, and that is it's usually 6 months for the one-on-one mentoring program. We've extended it to 12 months. We do partner up when we do deals. It is done with you, meaning myself and our team will be there for you, done for you. That's what we're adding to the table. Done for you is actually going to be the CRM and setting up your systems and all that good stuff, where we'll actually do that for you. Okay, it's a little bit different. It's not like it's not like the 30 days to a deal challenge. None of that is included when we do that. Okay. So I'm going to put this at the bottom. There's a little promo, and I'll share it with you really quick. If it's there, maybe it's not. Okay, maybe it's not. Boom, 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 boom. All right, I'll leave it at that. You know what? I'll put this up here, and then I'm going to go ahead and pull this up real quick. And today I wasn't planning on doing this, but I'm going to go ahead and drop it anyways. Okay, so I believe it's right here. Thought it was here, maybe not. Maybe it's up here. Okay, we'll go up here. Get in the game. Live in the field. Maybe this is it. Hopefully this is it. Let me scan it and find out. Amplified presents the American Mentee Program. Adjust, adapt, or perish. I say rock and roll. Let me scan this real quick. Adjust, adapt, or perish. Let me see. Oh, I was playing the rock and roll there. Okay, let's go. Let's see what we got. Let's see if this is the right one. Okay, that's not the right one. That's just be able to. That's just to join the challenge. Where's it at? Okay. I'm not going to pull it up. It's okay. Forget it. Let me see. Because these are not the right points. Interesting. Okay. All right. So let's do this. No problem. Maybe it's the captions. Let's try that. Nope. That's not going to be it either. All right. No worries. All right, so don't worry about it. At the end of the day, I'll put it in the feed. I don't think do I have that open? I don't think I do. All right, so it's not going to be in the feed either. So let me see. What about this? All right. I'll put this in here for the 30 days to a deal challenge real quick. Right there. Take advantage of that. For the rest of March. Okay. All right. So let me go ahead and wrap this up. I'm going to pivot back to most investors ignore the hidden gold mine of pre-foreclosure leads. Okay. So that's what we're going to talk about today. So I haven't thought about pre-foreclosures. Definitely look into it. Okay. I'll show you how to pick them. How to pick the right ones, how far to go back to figure out, because remember, you got the NODs, notice defaults, trustees, all that good stuff. I'll help you pick the right data. I'll share that with you. And then how to set it up, how to market it, how to market to these pre-foreclosures and things of that nature. By getting the mission is the submission and things of that nature. So, but you got to jump aboard to 30 days to do a challenge. And we're going to tap on that. We're going to bring those leads to the table as well as the other project, or I should say the other program, which is the door rocking to a deal challenge. Okay. Door rocking to a deal. It's usually door knocking, but all I say is door rocking to a deal challenge. We get out in the field and we rock and roll together, and we're going to rock deals. If you want to be a fly on the wall and just watch, that's cool too. Definitely got to sign up for that as well. And then I believe we have a PPL program that's rolling out as well. We're working on that, but we're actually working on the what are we looking at? What's it called? Not the schedule, the structure of how people get paid. Okay. So a beautiful, lovely thing at the end of the day when we're doing that, right? It's a marketing services company that's going to help us with that. It's Amp Live Media. So I'm going to wrap it up without further ado. Rock and roll and all what you do. Went pretty long for this live. Hopefully you got some good pro tips and nuggets, some information that you can, in this stuff that I'm talking about, you can actually take into the field, okay, and rock and kick some ass. So I'm going to put my mug up here, and this way you can see my eyes and all that good stuff, and we'll go from there. I'm Eric of Amp Live, the Amp Live Real Estate Show, your host, powered by Amp Live Media, a media marketing and broadcasting company, sponsored by VIPeXecs, Realty, Lending, and Investments in Luxury Properties. Obviously, we're rocking Amp Live TV. We're going to be pushing that a lot as we move into the field and we move into actually recording a lot of this stuff out in the field and in other locations and things of that nature. If you'd like to be part of that, definitely reach out, do a DM, get in touch with me some way of somehow by hitting all these social medias, or just reach out, right? The number's out there, the websites are out there, DMs out there, social media's out there, okay? You can always hashtag Get Erick Paul Live, hashtag Get Erick Paul Live. Watch all the videos and training and things of that nature. You can also hashtag VIPeXecs, VIPeXecs, hashtag VIPeXecs. If you want more information on the real estate brokerage for VIPeXecs Realty, Lending, and Investments and Luxury Properties, and we'll connect, okay? So definitely take advantage of the things that I dropped on the table for you today. There's some links there. Some of it's free, some's paid, and all that good stuff. Others, it's just free information for you. So without further ado, rock and roll and all that you do. Keep on rocking and rolling. God bless you with abundance, prosperity, health, and wealth. Keep on rocking. Keep on dreaming, right? Because at the end of the day, winners never quit and quitters never win, okay? And this is always live and uncut. Please like, love, share, and comment. Appreciate it. We'll see you tomorrow for Friday highlights and then into the weekend. Have an awesome, awesome rock and roll Thursday. Bye-bye.